everybody, how's it going? We wrap up my box check for the celebration of 800/777 subscribers with the Dark Element. Makes sense, it's at the end. Let's start it without further ado. So, let's see. First, Dark Gotcha Monster. Wow, we have to actually kind of go a while before we see anything. It is Independence. There you go. And well, that makes sense. I do remember getting her early on, but you know, this is rough times for her. Like, she is the oldest monster, I believe, in Monster Strike. No, I'm pretty sure she is. That doesn't have a transcension yet. And you know, she was, again, back then you didn't have that many abilities to worry about. So seeing this double Slayer EL was an interesting thing, right? You weren't nulling anything, but you could just do damage. And that was really awesome. And then, you know, she was one of those monsters that actually didn't have an ascension to begin with. But when she got her ascension, all she got was this, and she didn't have Counter Slayer, I think, back then, right? It was just like one of those Slayers and Null Warp, right? And it went lower grade because she got a Null on top of that. So that was really I remember being really disappointed when that happened. And, you know, I just gotta hope that they make up for all this with her eventual transcension and make it freaking good, because she has been disrespected for sure once already. So hopefully she gets something good. But yeah, I mean, this is surprising that up until then, really no dark type monsters to call for. All these 4 or 5 star monsters from the gacha, collab stuff. You got Cybele, oh my god, right? That stage that had the higher difficulty and, magic circles where you really didn't have any way to get around them. Nightmare level, I remember. It's like, nope, not gonna try that very much. But after that, we get it cool, like Harley, still used to this day in many, many stages, right? Like that unique ability to just dish damage on the weak point, getting that transcension to do even more. Really, really awesome skill set as a whole. And again, like I said, to this day, used quite often. Alice, getting her early was really darn awesome. Very fun character to begin with back in the day. I think the last monster to get the ascension, which was really, really nice, right? Yeah, I think the last one. I could be wrong there, but that was really great to have. And then she gets punted into the Midnight Party, Elemental Gacha, which was, alright, guess I'm never getting a second one. But transcended, also Sailor Moon collab. Getting the Sailor Alice, so good, right? Like her strike shot line. Perfect. And combining the two, just so good. One of my favorite characters in the game for sure. And just adorable too. Let's see. I should really be looking at the screen and not down on my phone. But yeah, wow, really suffered from not many fire or dark type monsters, right? Like, oh, Sephiroth, I remember that. Wow. So then we go to Daki. Base first came out, it's not super exciting, but then the Transcendent came out on the Rampage laser. Just seeing that, and I believe, was this Ega-chan? Like when they had Egashira Niji Gojupun show up as a collab thing. I think that's when they revealed her transcension. Maybe I'm mixing that up, but then seeing that what this Rampage laser did, it's like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then you realize, if she's in the middle, it's random. But if you get her in the corner and the boss is right there, then it doesn't go off the screen. Then everything goes in there, and you just get full damage right into the boss. That was a really cool thing to see. And I guess a little bit of luck, but if you can position, very nice. Kanan, so I love this art a lot, and it's a really fun stage. Of course, it was a fun stage only because I had the Kamui to help that out. And I remember the first time I did that stage, I actually, on my first attempt, got all the way to the very final stage, but got stuck because I ended up bringing, I think, an Izanami into that stage because I was just like, okay, why not? And somehow I made that work until the end. But yeah, that was a little disappointing. But again, cool art. Still not enough motivation to do anything with it. But 17 is actually a lot for me. You know, despite that, some of that's probably doped with the Jade drops. Pandora, really adorable voice to begin with. The different forms are really cool, right? You got the cheerleader form here. Gambare, gambare. And you had that double hose thing, which, right, really, you know, this is where the hippare strike, you know, hippare hunting with the other form, right? Like normally the hippare is to pull, but that would be like to pull to actually move. Then it started to feel like, oh, you're pulling her bump combos to do just all this insane damage. And that was a lot of fun back in the day for sure. And then her Evo form here, right? With that strike shot with the Pandora's box throwing that. That was a lot of fun to be able to do all those status effects, 2 multiple in a line, was crazy. And the fact that she had that drain ability there where every time you hit you would be able to recover HP, that was pretty cool in terms of a new game breaking ability. Lucy, what's to say? Amazing character, usable to this day, awesome stuff. I would be spending all the bump, you know, the type scrolls there, but you know, with the low amount you get, just kind of super stingy about when I want to use it on what. But I mean, clearly if I use Lucy that much, 1590, I'm sure that's the top. Just because, you know, there's a reason why she's not topped by a certain other monster, because, well, you know why that got converted out. But let's see. You know, Judas was always an interesting stage. You know, no bump, you know, weak points to call out, and seeing, you know, Strike getting the limelight there was cool. Killua, you know, getting that collab drop. You know, when it first came out, he didn't have that null gravity barrier, only null block, but he did have that all element slayer, and of course everybody knew that. Oh my god, he got an all element slayer. Wait, that's all he has, and he's useless, right? Only null block. Right, had some uses once in a while, but it was rough, and everybody knew that he got gimped because of the fact that all element slayer was on there. Transcension comes out with the revival, get a gravity barrier, and all of a sudden, bam, that usage just goes straight up. On top of that, you know, seeing that, right, he had the null poison back then too. Not as much interest of that back then, but you know, nowadays the poison becomes a formidable foe, especially, you know, with Kinki no Goku 1, right? That was just like, oh, that berry is actually useful now. But that Kamo, right? Kamo Jotai, right? That was pretty cool. That effect, being able to just have full power counter attacks. Lots of fun. Dinah. Cute. Not much usages though. Saru, Tobi, Sasuke. Another dark type monster that's just wallowing in uselessness. I mean, you would think like with the skill set you would have some use, but it's just like, well, no, I really don't want to use you. Right, 24 has some stuff, but Mixie, let's get the transcensions going for these old dark type monsters. They're feeling left out here. Oberon, of course, Oberon shines because of that Kinki no Goku stage where you don't have your bump combos, right? 9, the Slayers just come in so much more handy there. Cool to see some usages that way for sure. Second Harley, second Lucy. Minamoto no Yoritomo, I remember for the longest time I realized I forgot I had him, and just one day when just checking through my box I was like, wait a minute, this name, why does that sound familiar? And I was like, it was a few months back. I was like, oh, I can transcend him. Why haven't I done that yet? And he had the interesting buff here with that Nagi Harai. I think it was just that small, and then they added the Cho. But the funny thing, of course, Cho in this case is the long character for long. Normally when you say Cho, it's for the blaster, like the super, right? So it's interesting that despite the fact that it's longer, now you have a bigger swing of the sword to make it actually useful. But it's amusing to see that they were both Chos there. Atum really got a bunch of usages with that transcension there. So, I mean, only 8 here because I don't farm those particular stages where he comes in handy, right? Sakimitama? Oh no, I accidentally clicked that. Sakimitama, but I don't need to farm it, so that's fine. And then we got Nezumi Kozo. Also another one that, he had some rumors of getting a transcension when there's that fun gimmick for Goemon where they, I forget what that drop monster was, but he had a bunch of coins and they got stolen. Of course, Nezumi Kozo is like the Japanese, Peter Pan, right? Steal from the rich, give to the poor style kind of thing, I think. Hopefully I don't get that wrong, but adorable character. Hopefully they keep him a mouse when they transcend him and doesn't get the Yatagarasu treatment and turn into some random dude. That still bothers me today. Darth Vader, this was cool. And to see him get still, last time I tried to clear the Kinki no Goku, that 23? What am I doing? Oh, 14, completely off. But was it the Eden stage, right? Yeah, Eden stage. That was cool to see and get some use. And of course, can we still hear it? No, we can't hear it. But hearing that voice, of course, and seeing the stormtroopers go around, scattered through the stage, even though it's not super strong, pretty cool to see. Alibaba, right? Really no use until that transcension, and then just all of a sudden, okay, this is cool. Getting that Slayer with the bullet bump combo is always nice. Takasugi Shinsuke. Remember using him a bunch for a while. Really strong. That was another challenging, but I don't know, fun, but it was a challenging stage to take on. I do appreciate the difficult collab stages to try once in a while. Enough said. Cthulhu, it's a bummer to see you not have anything cool, but there we go. Got Kronos. I feel like I didn't get him until fairly late on too, but yeah, again with the Slayer L on the fairy Yosei types, and having, if you're able to position those bump combos properly, and there's no laser barriers in the way, certainly a great way to clean things up. Kirito, you saw I had Kirito and Asuna in that previous one in the light. Yeah, I guess I haven't used him that much, which is interesting. I keep clicking the wrong thing. I guess people are using him in the tower a lot, but just a testament there's no real use for him, which is kind of a bummer for a collab get, Chocolat. I think, what was it? Oh yeah, the Bump Combo 2 was a nice addition, but I think there's just so much better monsters in that category to use instead. Oh, Kate Sith. Cute cat. We'll go with that. Oh yes, Barty here. She helped get me through El Dorado on the the Jades. El Dorado was like one of my most hated stages. Right after I think Izanami Kai dropped off, I think then it went to El Dorado, just because of the power up walls and the strictness of that stage overall that was demanded for you to clear it. You know, whether it's clearing up the mines, hitting all 3 power up walls without hitting anything else, making sure you get rid of the Puyos in time, making sure you get rid of that bag thing that would defense down your team and make yourself vulnerable, with mosquito healing everything. So many parts, and that stupid ball that if you destroyed that, you were just dead on arrival on the boss stages. Ugh. Ajisai. Definitely have both forms of her. Really cool to see both in action, for sure. Then we get Sailor Moon Club. Of course, Sailor Moon herself is great. Either form, not much usages, I guess. Erebos, that's not helpful. But it was cool to see for sure, that satellite and then the round flash. This one was like the super healer type, right? You'll be able to just heal up your team. Eden. God, no, thank you. There's the other Ajisai right here, flanking the row, the other form. And Queen Metalia, oh man, that was an interesting stage to deal with for sure. Yeah. Again, good memories of it being challenging and just doing it a few times. Got the Christmas Daji here. That was a nice get for sure, because back, just using duels and then being able to get one in a different form, avoiding the mist. Takoyaki! Love takoyaki. That's all. There you go. Saihi! That's what the other thing was. Again, you see I have a max lector. Too much work. Even though, it's just gone now. Hamilton. Yeah, okay. A little bit of a bummer. Ohashi Kohashi? No. Daikyo Shokyo. Really love the art. Really, really nice art. Good set of abilities here too. So, I think should have gotten more usages out of her, but yeah, there you go. Antithesis. Oh my god, this Saigodon here, right? Saigo Takamori. I mean, sure. You got an old classic, the Edo theme that you would imagine, and then you just go all cyber on him, which I don't know, man. Sure, the meteor there, and I can see the theming here, but man. And the fact that you only get a null gravity barrier. A little bit of a bummer. There you go. Ares. Sorry. Yeah. Mind Super M, Gravity Bear, sure, but guess not much usages there. Bunch of kinky stuff. Oh, there we go. Jekyll and Hyde when they had the monster card game, right? Guess that silently ripped without much fanfare, but they had this special collab, right? They had special art for those card games, and they showed those off and was able to get Jekyll and Hyde. I did have him on my tablet, so it wasn't that necessary, but it's always cool to get another one, especially when it's an element limit monster, because I just simply will not have many of those, because I will avoid it. Well, I mean, nowadays it's all the same rates too, so there's actually no reason to completely avoid those. So actually, think about that. Maybe there's a chance there's a 110 pull here and there for those elemental gotchas. Who knows? Satan, didn't have him for the longest time, which was rough. Again, contributed to my aversion to play Eden. But, Eden was really broken with Satan. Having all of these slayers here for basically everybody in the stage. And then to have that 8-turn strike shot to get all nulls to make up for that. all those abilities every other turn, plus all these slayers. Really nice. Cool. Really unique situation there. And I remember that first reaction when it came out. It's like, what the heck? Nothing? And then you see the structure like, oh. Really fun times. Ichigo. I remember he was the reason why that, you know what? This strike shot hasting berry might actually be a good thing. Because he gets that special mode for such a long time that if you really want to kick it off right away so you get that going, and then just start charging up for the next turn while you're still in that mode. So the amount of turns where you're not in that special mode is better. But of course, you're not going to be stalling for turns, and usually you don't get that many usages of the strike shot, which is kind of rough. So, right, things from the Bleach collab. And we all know how everybody loved that Bleach collab. But yeah, that just means if it comes back again, which it may not because people hated it, the Transcensions will surely make up for it. Rosenkreuz, the second limited monster from the Montamaridora series, was able to get her as well fairly early on, I think. It wasn't that long of a wait before I got her, so that was cool to see. And she currently helps me out on 33 of the Tower of Champions, right? Just the bullet plus, you know, being able to take advantage of the magic circle boost. Like it. Another Pandora that I have in the base form. And oh my god. Loki. Didn't have him forever. Of course, by the time I got him, his bump combo is just completely eclipsed. For any usages, right? So it's a rough time, but I am taking this video after the last Monster Strike news, and he is getting his Kai Transcension, and it looks quite amazing. I cannot wait to see him in action, and hopefully be able to use him for a full. I only still have one, but that is going to be exciting to use. And then, speaking of speaking of Kai, we've got Mundus, aka World. I don't know, his Transcension art is kind of freaky, but even his, you know, Transcended art was a far cry from his Ascended form. And fun note, I actually use this Ascended form's ball art as my profile picture at work. So I get, you know, occasionally get that nice comments like, oh, where's that character from? And I can talk about this game to that. Professionalism aside, I haven't had anybody complain about it quite yet, at least. But, you know, fun stuff. But yeah, this Transcended Kai form, very interesting. You know, getting that Minesweeper again. You know, it's kind of a bummer that they always try to hide the staple ability within the Connect skill. But, you know, Strike Shot Reducer to get the delay. Not bad. And, you know, being able to delay based on the amount you hit is always cool. I mean, with the top off, but very nice. Oh, Lokomoko. Yeah, Minamoto still on the base farm. Adabuda. That stage, man. Again, thank God for Hibiscus, because that was a painful thing. Sonshoko. That was a cool announcement at was it X-Lac Park? Or the anniversary stream? One of the two. But seeing that Transcension announced, and then, you know, the lock-on Trident laser with the Slayer, Samurai Slayer. Interesting combo. Definitely got a bunch of usages spiked as a result of that, but I mean, it was a specific use for sure. What are you? Oh, Cha-Cha! Well, as you can see, I haven't used her at all. So that explains why I couldn't tell who she was. Bellstar, same way. Looked like a 6-star, but clearly haven't used him. Oh, Radra, interesting. Another Pandora, another Alibaba, another Daji. What we got here? Finn. There's something unique about this dude that I remember people were... Was it Kinky 9? Okay. Yeah, I guess it must have been. Anyways, really haven't used him either. Mussolski. Making El Dorado again that much easier, accessible. But as you can see, I really got him late into the scene, and by then Jades were a chore that I didn't want to do anymore, so I didn't really get him much use. And then Mad Hatter got him to that guaranteed transcended monster, which you know, there's plenty. I'm probably the only one out there that has a super typed, super leveled Mad Hatter. But hey, if it was free, that's fine. Hopefully he sees some uses somewhere. Eden, dang it. Murasaki Shikibu, again, I used her a lot. It's a friend slot. I would bug SF all the time to put her up for El Dorado, for the Kinky, not the Kinky, the Seal Jades, right? Hui no Gyokuro. And just like, without her, I just couldn't do it, that stage. And finally get her, but again, just like Mussolski, I was already tired of the Jades, so I didn't use them anymore. So Othello, again, you know, kind of missed out when he first came out, being able to use him, seeing that all that damage you could do with that round flash. You center him, do all the damage, right? His strike shot is a bash, so you can position it to ideally optimize your area, because it keeps going until it's a wall. So Bomber, I literally have not used him, which is surprising, but yeah, you can see there's not much usages in terms of high level stages. He is used a lot in the the Pro Tour, right? That's always cool to see. Let's see, another Nezumi, another Anthony D. Like, I'm not even sure if I've ascended him or evoed him anywhere. It's just like, okay, great, you're there. Hang out. Idea. That was an interesting stage. But got 11, but probably gonna have to do the same thing where you just gotta get more. So I'm sure I'll work on that sooner than later. What else? We're almost done. Yeah, I got another Montana, so of course I put in that Evo form. Again, give me that transcension. Another Oberon. Oh, and then Cheshire Cat. I know there's some use for her somewhere, but Kinky 14 and 9. Okay, that's not bad, honestly. Getting some use there. Another Ajisai. And of course Kiron Alpha, which is really cute. By the way, don't use her on 22 on the reverse tower. Think about what happens when you bring dark monsters to light stages. And of course, the most recent completion here, we got Kaoru and Lilith. Max Luck, fun stage, assuming you have Rei, which I don't, but my tablet does. So as you can see, I did steal her in my light box. And honestly, it's easier to do it with 2 Reis, so I just do it solo here, and I'm going to do it solo on my tablet, and everybody's going to be happy that way. And we'll see what the heck that secret mission is going to be. I feel like that's going to be a little scary, headachy for the difficult nerve side, or was it whatever the difficult one is. That scares me a little. But anyways, there you go. That is my dark box. Yeah, I guess it was interesting to see that the beginning stages really didn't have that much to begin with. So I was probably struggling for a while for dark type monsters. Alright, let's see how things looked 3 years ago. I only had 9. Clearly I had an issue with dark type monsters. First slot, unsurprisingly, we have Harley there. Then Alice in both you know, Evo and Ascended form. Again, probably just taking advantage of the Ascended once I got that. Tsukiyomi, not surprising to see her there. Really nice drop monster to use. Death Arc, probably to replace Queen Butterfly, because again, I didn't really do her stages very much early on, so probably did something. That's the reason why you see him there. He's also one of those early start monsters you could try to max select, which I don't have max select, I don't think. Montana in the 6th slot. I don't even remember. That was the like one of those like miracle Charles, right? God, that was a nightmare. I don't want to remember that. Saibo, I guess because I got one of her, I might as well use her once. That's it. And Gyokuro, right? She has that unique strike shot to give more power, like Diulota. So okay, let's see what things look like nowadays. And yeah, unsurprisingly, we got Lucy in the 1st slot, Pandora in the 2nd and 5th slot. Harley still surviving in the 3rd slot, which is cool to see. Daji popping up in the 4th. 6th and 7th goes to Alice respectively. You can see that, of course, the evil form dropped off, but the ascended form was still there, and just all the usages with the transcended Sailor Moon version. Happy to see that in the 7th slot for sure. 8th and 9th are both the Killuas. Again, it was cool to use. Sure, like even though it was limited, if you could get away with just no block, I used him, right? Because he was a all element slayer. And that's kind of a bummer to see that he didn't get more usage out of that. But you see the Transcension is out there, slowly creeping up. Cool to see. And then the 10th slot, of course, Takasugi, again, with that strike shot, finishing that difficult stage, making sure I want to use him, you know, getting that, you know, nice, I mean, decent skill set as a max luck is pretty cool. And that's it. Of course, that is my main account only. I will probably do it again with my I'm definitely going to do it again with my tablet. I might go at a slightly faster pace than doing it element by element, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see, because my box on my tablet is definitely not as robust here, right? Yeah, although maybe it is. It definitely gets a lot more hits, I feel like, for the big guys. And there's a bunch of unique ones that I only have on my tablet, which is, I guess, good and concerning at the same time. I would love it to be on here instead. But, hey, if I'm co-oping anyway, and thank God for the share Amon feature, that helps out. Okay, wow, already 30 minutes over. Alright, well, let me say thank you again for sitting through with this. If you enjoyed everything here, give me a like again, subscribe. Of course, we're aiming for 1,000 subs eventually. But up until then, to celebrate the 777-800 sub milestone, the Q&A session is still open. So go ahead and go to that video. If I remember it, it'll pop up here. But go ahead, check that out. Actually, it'll be on the end stage. It might be here right now, honestly. Click that to go ahead and ask your questions. Otherwise, leave any comments you want here. If you have any memories of other dark monsters you may have you want to talk about, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll see if there's... Maybe I'll go through my stats tomorrow or the next day. I'm sure there's other stuff to talk about. But anyways, thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.